time for our Kroger Fresh Take with the former quarterback Jake Fromm to talk all things G-Day. And honestly, at this point, it's crazy to even think that we're having a discussion about G-Day because it feels like just yesterday I was listening to you talk about the SEC championship and the playoffs. So the fact that we're even here just goes to show how fast time really does fly. G-Day looks a little bit different this year, not televised, you have to pay to get in. What do you sort of make of all the changes that have happened to G-Day this last year?
Yeah, honestly, that's new news to me. I didn't even know that it's not going to be televised. So, and that is like such an interesting twist about how these spring games are kind of changing. Are they going to get to kind of a model of playing other programs? That's kind of been said and mentioned and kind of pushed for. So it's going to be so interesting to see this evolution of how the spring game changes. Some coaches, some programs kind of want to keep their cards close and not show what's going on, and others just really want to put on basically a show. So it's going to be kind of interesting to kind of hear the feedback of how this G-Day is. Personally, G-Day coinciding with the Masters to me is never like great and ideal for timing. But it is what it is, and you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, you mentioned that G-Day looks a little bit different just depending on the team. I mean, some teams aren't even having G-Day this year. But when you think about it from a quarterback standpoint, like, what's the thing that you get the most out of G-Day? Is it the crowd noise or just being in the stadium with a bunch of people? Like, what was the main benefit for you as a quarterback in playing the spring game?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was another, especially in my later years, when I'm the guy, I'm going out there, I wanted to see the other guys in the huddle, and I wanted to see their eyes. I wanted to see if I could basically, trust them. How were they with the lights on in front of people? Was the moment too big for them, or were they locked in and ready to go make a play? So for me, it was kind of already learning kind of which guys I could trust, which guys I could count on. When it's kind of getting down to the nitty gritty of who's going to make a play for me and who I needed to get the ball to.
So a new season always brings some sort of new storylines, and unlike last year, this year one of the main narratives is going to be who's going to be the starting quarterback. Is it Gunnar Stockton? Is it Ryan Puglisi? Of course, both of them will get a chance to showcase their skills on Saturday. But from what you've heard, your intel, like, how real is that quarterback battle?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think this is 100% Gunner's to lose. I think Gunner's the guy. He's the guy who's been in the system for a long time. He knows kind of what it takes to be the quarterback at Georgia. He came in and had a phenomenal showing in the Sugar Bowl game. I mean, to me, this is Gunner's job, and barring an injury or just absolutely, taking this game and having a really bad training camp, which I highly doubt. This is Gunner's job, and I think for Puglisi, trying to push Gunner to elevate his play, and then also trying to get the most reps he can. I mean, being a backup quarterback, I know from personal experience, you are one play away from being thrown into the mix and trying to take your team to new heights and new levels. So I think Kirby's always going to throw this competition narrative out there, and he really means it. He really does. He wants both of those guys to elevate each other. But I really think this is Gunner's job.
Yeah, but for someone like Ryan Puglisi, I mean, could a good G-Day performance even matter? Is it more so what happens in the scrimmages in spring practice that has a bigger impact on the outcome?
Yeah, I think it definitely matters. It'll matter of how kind of how quick the leash is, or it really kind of earns a lot of respect with your teammates. In my opinion, kind of when you go out in these games, these situations, these kind of unique opportunities, when you go out and play, and anytime you go out and play well, you earn respect from your teammates, from your coaches, and they'll be more inclined to trust you when your opportunity or when your number is called and when you get thrown into the mix. So it absolutely matters, especially for those two guys playing the quarterback position. Gunner wants to go out and play well and execute and do all the right things, and Puglisi wants to go out and put on a show and put some pressure on Gunner as well.
So in just a moment, we'll talk about some other position groups. First, of course, we have to give a shout out to Kroger. And When you work in sports, it's sometimes hard to remember like what time of the year it is. Time just flies by really fast. And I actually had the chance to go to Kroger yesterday, and I was quickly reminded that Easter is coming up because they had all the special candy out, whether it's like the Cadbury eggs or the really colorful M&Ms. It was a good reminder that Easter is coming up, and with that, you're going to need candy, you're going to need your hams, whatever you do for your feast. So you can do all of your fresh Easter finds at your local Kroger this year, from Easter feasting to basket building. Everyone will love fresh favorites from your local Kroger. So make sure to stop by your local Kroger or go to Kroger.com/Easter to find out more. So another one of the really exciting parts about this G-Day is the wide receiver group, because it was a little bit lackluster this year. So I think that everybody's just kind of ready for a fresh start. And whether it be the transfers that they brought in or some of the high school guys that they brought in, what's your intel on this new receiver group?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I want to see I actually want to see a vet who's been there kind of basically go out and kind of rebrand himself, and that's Dylan Bell. I want to see him go out and make a few splashy plays. I want to see a confident catcher, and I want to see a guy, just give me a little appetizer of what he could look like moving around and maybe playing different positions, throwing back there in the I formation, give him a toss sweep. I want to get a little appetizer. I just want to see a little something kind of what this guy can do with the ball in his hands. And I want to see the transfer wide receiver branch from USC. I want to see just kind of how flashy he is. Heard nothing but great things from him, and I cannot wait to see what he looks like on tape.
Yeah, from what we've heard this entire spring about Dylan Bell, he's been taking a lot of reps in spring practice, their running back position. So I'm curious to see like what glimpse we're going to get of Dylan Bell, of what he's been doing over the last couple of weeks. Now, when you look at G-Days past, a great G-Day performance doesn't always translate over to who's going to be the star for the rest of the season. But when you think back on your G-Days, was there anybody that had like a stellar performance that would ultimately foreshadow a really good season?
No, G-Day for me, like the first thing that comes to mind is my good buddy Ben Cleveland. And I really hope I don't get in trouble here for saying too much, but Ben loved to get primed and ready kind of for the party afterwards of G-Day, kind of even before G-Day, the game got started. So, I just Ben was always ready, and man, he was already having a good time kind of as G-Day the game was going, and he was already ready for that party afterwards. If you kind of get my drift a little bit there, so that was just kind of quick. One of the G-Day memories that quickly comes to mind for me.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. How much is the food, like the dinner y'all get after? Because isn't it the winner gets steak and then the loser gets something else? Like, how much is the food an actual motivator for the team? Because, I mean, for me, that would be everything.
I mean, to me, it's always a big motivating factor for me, especially for the big guys up front. I mean, we're talking steak, crab, lobster. I mean, all the fixins. Talked to Jimmy at Stripling's. Apparently he's doing the food this year, and anytime Stripling's does it, I mean, it is just fantastic. So winners get steak and all the goods and all the fixins. Losers get the beanie weenies. Yeah, it's just never kind of what you want. So you always want that top 5-star meal.
All right, so last thing is, you mentioned you want to see someone like Dylan Bell. You want to hear good things about the performance that he had after it was over. Is there any other one player that you hope we're hearing good things about after the scrimmage is over?
Yeah, I also want to see this new and improved Oscar Delp, and I want to see kind of, I want to see this intent and this focus that he's kind of been talking about over the spring. I want to see it translate, show up on film and on the field. So excited to kind of see big things from him. Obviously, still trying to fill this Brock Bowers void that this Georgia offense has been left, and how kind of he fits as a piece there in the offense.
All right, Jake, as always, thank you so much for your insight and your time. We're always appreciative of it.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly.